Hello and welcome to the early morning podcast for two of us.
Good morning, YouTube.
I feel like we need to get some intro music, kind of make this a bit more classy.
I'm telling you, we need that bloody new spinning Earth intro thing. You know,
we'll get that too, mate. We'll get that too.
This is so dumb.
NerdSpice.
Now we've all been playing a few games. Tolga, maybe not so much for you. You've been really smashing through Fire Emblem still, haven't you?
Oh, my second playthrough, dude.
Nice. So you're choosing a different house this time, then?
He plays against twice. Good.
How did you? Well, actually, Fire Emblem is built for replaying it multiple times.
What a nerd.
Yeah.
So
how do you enjoy? Obviously, no spoilers and stuff, but how did you enjoy the overall game by the end of it?
So good, dude. And it turns out I picked the essentially the exact house that's sort of my jam.
Yeah.
I like
but that. Yeah, so dude, it was so good. I smashed it. So it took me 65 hours for the first playthrough.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so now I'm into the second one, about 10 hours in.
Nice, man. Nice.
It's 12 hours into a game, isn't it?
Oh, well, that's what we do at NerdSpice. We're committed to
ourselves.
To
be honest, for a JRPG, at least a modern JRPG, 60 hours is pretty fucking short, which is kind of sad nowadays when you go, oh, it's only 60 hours for that JRPG.
Well,
I mean, look, I probably
Sorry,
smashed through it.
Yeah. I mean,
what have people got to do in we're still in lockdown technically, so I guess 60 hours is
of course.
I've wasted 3 days of lockdown. What am I going to do now?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are in lockdown. We're not.
Well, we're coming for
Fuck
you. We're coming for you.
Welcome to the Stage 4 podcast. We're back. We're in Stage 4, my boys.
Dude, when I saw 2 weeks ago that you guys full started getting military presents, I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Dude, people here are just fucking idiots. The amount of fines that people have had the government have issued out is actually horrifying.
Oh my god.
When you look at the numbers, it's no one's listening. No one's fucking listening. It's hey, we have rules. It's not other countries where it's oh, we don't actually have rules where everyone's just doing it and it's fucking up anyway.
It's against my beliefs.
Fucking hell. This is my goddamn right.
Did you see that that American kid who was I ran a marathon in 40-degree heat with 50 masks on my face and I didn't collapse from lack of oxygen. It's just
that's cool.
But yeah, so just for those who don't know, in terms of replayability, you can play it 4 times for just 4 different story outcomes.
Absolutely.
But then on top of that, you can play it as many times as you want for a bunch of other nuances like relationships, because the different relationships you deepen or you get the support level up, you have different outcomes at the end of the story.
Yeah.
So
well, that's kind of what I really would recommend, Tolga, you to look into potentially getting Persona 5 on PS4, because if you're enjoying this kind of RPG, really enjoying the kind of micromanaging of doing really normal everyday kind of fun things you'd normally do in real life with friends and shit.
Animal Crossing.
Just really well, no, just more the socialization side. If you enjoying hanging out with a fucking 2D waifu or a 2D best boy, husbando.
Do you like digging?
Seriously, Persona 5. I really would recommend it. And that game, style-wise, is gorgeous and really awesome.
So title of the podcast.
Also, 90
safe,
hours.
Stay inside. Play Fire Emblem. There you go.
That's a good title.
I'm just an ideas man. This man just wakes up and I'm just, I don't need a warm up. I'm just that
Mitchell,
good.
when you hopped on that fucking on the Discord, morning. It's like a fucking zombie. Mitchell, what have you been playing? You've been playing a couple games this week. We've actually played one game.
Yeah.
Similar game.
Yeah, well, these are both
very same.
Brand new, really. One of them was in the Xbox release, one of the
we
games
spoke about it.
Yeah, the live stream. That's right.
Last episode.
So this one's in early access. I'll talk about that one first, I guess, since we've both played it. Grounded, which is basically a Bug Boy Ants Life survival game.
I guess the best one is Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I
Shrunk the Kids.
I felt like I was living in the world of ants. A Bug's Life, the movie, but as a human.
And damn, okay, Mitchell.
Yeah.
How do you feel about wolf spiders?
Fuck, man, they. You know what? I want them scarier. They are.
I agree. I think the first time you meet it, you're like, you shit yourself, you cry a little.
One came
and then after that,
home.
Yeah, after that, it's like, now they're just annoying.
Yeah.
They just keep fucking up my shit.
A basic description for people, an overview of the game. So basically, it is in early access, so most of the story hasn't come out yet. There's still going to be heaps of stuff to come out, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see them add more insects and bugs in, expand the map. Obviously,
the map's really small.
The map is small, but it is in early access.
Yes, of course.
So more to come, hopefully. But basically, you're shrunk down. You it's
a survival game,
backyard.
but a different setting.
Yeah,
like that's the easy description. It is your very stereotypical survival game.
Yeah.
But the setting is what makes it interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be honest, the survival aspect, the building aspect sucks. I think the building aspect needs to be tweaked. Obviously,
there's a few issues with it. I don't mind the building way it does it. It's like the forest. It's the same sort of building as the forest, where you set it down, and it kind of just places there without being built. You can see the structure, but it's see-through. You just go and find the stuff, and then put it in, which I think works well because its inventory management is
I like that
worst.
I like that aspect. My problem with it is more just some of it. It's like, you can't really place it where you truly want to. Sometimes it'll go a bit too far, and there's like little gaps and shit like that, or like on the roof and stuff. I found, but like I think that what needs to really be tweaked is, those spiders suck. They suck.
They suck in a good way though. But...
I see. For me, by the end.
What, Mitchell?
You heard me. I stick by my statement.
Oh my god.
Like,
no,
I think that they...
Can spiders even suck? I mean, I don't even know. I'm no scientist.
I want to actually talk about it. They have an arachnophobia option.
And that's really clever.
Tweak. We'll get to that. It's a clever idea.
Yeah.
In practice, doesn't work out. They did not do it in a good way. Great idea, poorly implemented.
Probably because it's just massive amounts of spiders. That's why. It's not
No. It's a really good idea, but the way they've implemented it is poorly done. So essentially, it's like there's levels of your arachnophobia.
Yeah.
And so what it essentially does is it's like, what do you hate about spiders? Is it the legs? You can take the legs off so it turns into a floating body. Not fun.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Do you hate that they have mandibles? You can take the mandibles off. Like, it gets to a point where you can essentially make it like a floating spider, but that gets rid of their hitboxes pretty much. So you can only hit the floating body, but they can still do the mass amounts of damage. So it ends up fucking you over more.
Well, they are being really open to like criticism and really pushing to criticism. So I think if that's a problem, I'm sure people have already said it, but put in a review.
I guarantee they'll fix it because like as much as I'm saying like it's not a great game yet, I think this is, out of all the other survival games that I've played, this one has the most interesting concept and also just it's got a developer behind it that like when you watch the trailer for Grounded, they straight up said this isn't going to be a great game to begin with. This is going to be shit to begin with. It's early access. We're learning.
It's basic.
They set up everyone's expectations. They said, "Oh, you want a game like a Game of the Year game? Go to Cyberpunk 2077." They literally said that in their trailer.
Yeah. Well, this is is this Obsidian?
Obsidian, yeah. Obsidian. Yeah. And they've been very open about it. So like they know that this game's not going to be phenomenal to begin with, and they know that it's going to lack some content and all that. But they are a very good company when it comes to committing to fixing products and committing to listening to feedback.
Which is essentially what they're doing now.
Yeah,
100%.
So I think if there's any like early access game that I'd recommend keeping an eye on, not necessarily buying right now, but keeping an eye on to see where it goes, it's definitely this game.
And if anyone does buy the game, like it is still fun if you have got a group of friends. I think it's a 4-person lobby.
I'd recommend doing it with friends. I did it solo and I did not enjoy that.
Yeah, do it with friends. Also, make sure to build storage chests because your inventory is shit. Everything you equip on your body or anything you equip on your weapon, I can't even say weapon wheel because you don't use your weapon wheel, which is annoying. It's all taking up slots in your inventory, plus not everything stacks. There are things that are just one thing takes up a whole slot.
Also, when you create chests and stuff, make sure you don't put saps or anything foodish related because eggs can raid your shit.
No, they just come and steal it, even through walls. We put our chest against the wall, right, of our house. They went on the other side of it and were somehow getting into the chest and stealing stuff.
They're sneaky fuckers.
Motherfuckers.
This experience sounds very stupid.
I mean, it is, but it's great.
It's kind of indicative of a survival game. But I can't name a survival game where it's like I wasn't fucked over by some form of, by something within the game.
Yeah.
That like literally survival games. They just have a fucking depressing shit time and try and fucking survive. That is a fucking survival game, and then have a good laugh with friends while that depressing shit time happens.
I mean,
it's like it's getting kicked while on the ground. The game that is every survival game.
Speaking of getting kicked while on the ground, what about our next game that I've been playing?
Mitchell, did you get kicked on the ground?
Holy shit! Basically, I bought on release, the full release, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout.
I just bought it because of Mitchell's recommendation beforehand. So
yeah, I love this game because I think I'm addicted in the way that I'm competitive. So it has that drag to it that most BRs do. That everyone's like, I need to win a game. I need to show that I'm dominant.
Well, can you kind of explain to Tolga what it is, because Tolga won't know.
Yeah,
it
sorry.
Just looks like fucking candy.
I think it looks fucking adorable.
Yeah, it's basically a 60-man like little blobber man obstacle course battle royale, and it's chaos. And it's great. So you have a bunch of, I guess they're all technically obstacle courses, but you have like your obstacle courses where you got to make it through in a certain amount of people. But there's also like team mini games. I guess if you're in the final, there's like a solo mini game sort of thing there can be. So there's a heap of like different games and obstacle courses to go through, which is really cool. But fuck me, is it stressful? Fuck me. Like, people are assholes. They're so rude. They just just push you and they pull you and they knock you off and you just want to play the game. You're like, hey, I got this, and they're like, no, man, I'm gonna fucking headbutt you, and you're gone. It's like,
isn't that the name of the game though? Isn't that the whole point of
yeah, but I just,
Sometimes he wants it a bit easier, okay?
So you're complaining that you're trash.
No, I actually have won a game.
Oh, just one?
It's hard, okay? It's hard because you got to get through 5 rounds. So, yeah, first 4 rounds are like qualifiers, and then the 5th round is the final. And I've won it once.
I'm not sure why Mitchell's taking this so personally. Like
Mitchell is a very competitive person.
I'm invested in this, okay?
I'm invested in the story.
I haven't played Destiny in a little bit, and this is the reason.
Jesus,
that's a really good thing though. Like, this game has come out of nowhere. I didn't know about it at all.
Not really.
Until Mitchell pointed it out, and then I noticed on my fucking timeline on Twitter, everyone was actually talking about Fall Guys, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. It was. It really snuck up on people because I didn't know about it until about 6 days before it fully released.
Yeah.
Because my YouTubers that I watched were playing or streaming it and playing it and then uploading it. Because I think it was mostly streamers and stuff had like keys.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And
that's
in
kind
the
of
beta, they had a
kind
beta,
of very. That's kind of what happens with a lot of games like.
There,
Overwatch had their closed beta and then open beta.
Yeah, people have reviewed bombed it, I think was what you said, Andrew.
Yeah, there was a bit of a review bombing due to server issues.
It was only on the first day, to be fair.
And can we just call that out? Review bombing's fucking stupid. You can't play for a day, that sucks. But
they know the game.
But chill, man. Like,
I am half on their side and half I
disagree with that. I think you can be pissed about, you can always criticize someone about server issues, yeah. But that for one day compared to some other games,
I wouldn't
where
review bomb. I think that's stupid. But
think they could have. It's fucking childish.
With the hype they were getting from the beta, or they should have known. You could have.
Here's the thing,
had a
Mitchell,
little bit
right?
More. Maybe not as much
Here's
as
the
what
thing.
they still
Here's
had.
the thing. Here's the thing, right? You've got like MMOs, big MMOs that know that every expansion that comes out is going to have a massive influx of players. Still have server issues where people will flood the servers. So for companies like Blizzard or Bethesda when it comes to ESO, or Square Enix when it comes to Final Fantasy XIV, to have server issues on their expansions, let alone a indie developer, even if it's backed by Devolver Digital, who is a much smaller company compared to any other AAA company, I think it's a bit unfair still to call them out. Like, you're bound to, for multiplayer games, have server issues. You are bound to have it, especially on day one.
I don't think we should be content with that. If they're going to release a $30 game, and you get on and really excited...
$30, mate. You're like, nearly every $60 game that's online has server issues.
If you're paying for a game, right, why should you expect a buggy game? Why should we have complacency?
It's not a buggy game. That's the problem. No, it was one day. If they can fix it within one day... You've got to give them credit for that.
I'm still getting something like small bugs in the game now. Like sometimes I'll have music loops and stuff like that.
Okay, music loops, really, dude. You're going to complain about a music loop.
No, I'm just saying there are problems.
That is the most minor. Right, in my opinion, that's the most minor.
No, it is
complaint.
Minor. But what I'm saying, the server issues are the main problem, and there was a massive problem on the first day. And I'm not going to review bomb it at all. Because I still think it's a really nice game. I love the game, okay? Actually, I think Peter put in a review, and he was like, love your game, like, really fun, but the servers are really down, make sure you fix it. That's all he was doing. He was letting them know that they were having issues.
We've also got to remember, we don't know how much backing Devolver Digital has put into this game. We don't know how much this company can really afford.
I think they said there was over 1 million people playing on the first day.
That's a lot.
I think,
especially for an indie game.
It was on their Twitter.
That's a lot.
So, yeah, it was
That's
lot.
Quite
of
a
people.
bit for an. So I mean, then I think criticism is like you can get a bit pissy, but like even preparing for 1 million people, like I can guarantee you it was much higher than they expected.
Yeah. No, I'm still playing the game like a lot and enjoying it. I was annoyed because I was also trying to stream it, and I couldn't do anything.
Okay, yeah.
And it was weird because we were finding games as solo, after waiting a couple hours for the game to work in the first place.
Yeah.
And then, but as a group, because I want to play with
couldn't find it with the 4 people.
Couldn't find it with any of them. But in saying that, the very next day, yesterday, it all worked. So it's all fixed.
Yeah, like I think the other thing is like, if this company, like I don't know what the developer has published before, but if this is like one of their first soirees into an online game, you've also got to put that into context as well.
Yeah, so it's a publisher
for an indie company.
I mean, sorry, it's a studio based in London, pretty sure, because my friend's brother-in-law actually works for the company.
Are you talking about Devolver?
No, I'm talking about the smaller studio.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so he's actually one of the developers of this game, which is really good. And I think what they've done is like they had this successful Harry Potter mobile game before this, but nothing on this sort of scale.
That's a fucking great game.
I don't even know
Harry Potter game?
Surely there's a lot of Harry Potter mobile games.
What Harry Potter game are you talking about? I don't think it's the wand one, Tolga.
It's not the wand one. Hold on. I forget what it's called. 1 second. It's made by Portkey Games, and this game was going to die, and then the Harry Potter community did lots of stuff. Harry Potter... Hogwarts Mystery.
Is that what it is? Oh, that one. I've seen that everywhere.
Huh?
I hate that game.
Yeah, but it was popular. It's everywhere.
It might have been popular, but it fucking sucked.
Yeah. Still, for them, that studio, that's their big break. Like this Fall Guys, it's the biggest game by far.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at this stuff, and I'm looking at the developer, and there is nothing in terms of online content, like an online only video game that's not mobile.
Yeah, as I said, this is their biggest game.
Yeah, well, no, I'm just saying, like, so I think that you do have to give them a bit of leeway with that stuff, considering the size of the company is an indie company.
No. I'm giving them leeway, of course, but I was still annoyed.
Like, I think, like, if it continues within the next couple of months and, like, there's still problems, then it's time to go, okay, you guys have had, like, ample time to kind of set this up and sort this out. Like, fucking deal with it now.
Yeah.
Versus...
It runs
it's not Ubisoft with For Honor or with Rainbow Six Siege, where they came out the gate with server issues, you know?
Anthem.
And they're by a AAA company.
Yeah.
Anthem. Fuck my life. Anthem. And just, like, you know, big AAA companies have a lot less credence compared to an indie company.
Yeah.
And
look, all up, great game. Great game. Okay?
Yeah.
Fun game.
I can't wait to play it. I'm really excited to play it.
It's stressful. You get pissed off. It is like a really cute game, but don't be fooled. All right? It's a mean game. It is.
Oh, I'm expecting it to be mean, but that's part of the fun.
Rage. Oh, it is part of the fun. But don't let the cosmetics fool you. They want you dead. And you need to kill them first.
I'm looking at the chicken cosmetic, and I really want
They can't kill if they're dead, Guardian. See, still fitting Destiny references in there.
That was a little cringe.
What do you mean? Is that not a good Shaxx impression? Come on, I think that was spot on. Me and Shaxx, we tight.
That was spot on. It was.
Thanks.
Yeah, you and Shaxx are tight.
We tight.
Wait.
So, I've been.
I just heard you and Shaq were tight.
Shaxx.
No, Shaxx.
Yeah, with an X.
Yeah, Mitch and Shaquille O'Neal are really tight.
Me and Shaq, man. You know what? That's somehow more far-fetched.
Yeah.
This is
okay, well, I've been playing a couple games this week. I've been playing quite a few games. I stopped my descent into Kingdom Hearts for a little bit because
Did you rage again?
No, I Kingdom Hearts myself out. I did have a rage though. I'm up to Kingdom Hearts 2. I think I'm around the halfway mark of the game.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of content there,
okay.
So take your time.
So I did the first game, then there's the second game, which is that card-based game. Fuck that game. That game can burn in a fucking hole. That is the worst game I've ever played. Fucking 0 out of 10. Worst content. Great story though. But then
0 out of 10. Great story though.
Then I had to sit down and watch like fucking 3 hours of cutscenes from a game that they didn't port.
Yeah.
And then I've now put in 30 hours into Kingdom Hearts 2. And I was like, I need a break from Goofy's fucking voice for like a week. Oh my god. So, I just want to say though, Kingdom Hearts 2 is one of the most amazing games. Wow. You know how I was complaining about Kingdom Hearts 1 and like all the complaints that I had for Kingdom Hearts 1 with the combat, etc., has completely been fixed in Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 is actually an amazing game. That's what a sequel
should be, shouldn't it, eh?
Well, no, but like I mean, like it's fixed, and then they've gone above and beyond as well.
Yeah.
Like Kingdom Hearts 1, I did mention like I like the concept, but it's not. None of it's executed well at all.
No,
Kingdom Hearts 2 is executed
standard. Like a sequel should be the first.
Absolutely. But it's hit a bar that even I expected. I expected it to be what Kingdom Hearts 1 wanted to be, but it's gone above that as well, in my opinion.
Oh, really?
Just the combat is just so fucking fluid and smooth and it's so fun to play. The bosses, the biggest problem with Kingdom Hearts 1 were the bosses. The bosses are all trash in Kingdom Hearts 1 except for maybe 2. This game, I haven't hated a single boss. I've loved every boss fight I've done.
Oh, that's
it
good.
is so much fun. It's so much better.
How deep into it are you?
I'm not too sure how, like, if I'm super, super deep. I'm currently doing a side world that's technically not necessary to continue the game, but it's Nightmare Before Christmas, so of course I want to fucking do it. It's really I'm loving it, man.
No.
My favorite
Copyright, Mitch. You can't.
Yeah, Mitchell, stop.
Fuck copyright.
But like my favorite world so far, weirdly enough, is actually the Pirates of the Caribbean world.
Yeah.
Which it's really weird seeing like fucking Donald and Goofy and Sora hanging out with Captain Jack, but it happened, and it was a great time. But what made it really fun was you're pretty much going through the whole first game's kind of plot, but really condensed and simplified. And all the fights you have are played with the Pirates of the Caribbean theme music, which just amps the combat up to 1,000. So much fun.
Are you thinking of what I'm thinking?
I think I am B2.
I am now. No, I don't think you are, Mitch. We won't talk about it. Tolga, we don't talk about it.
No, we don't talk about it. But like, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I know exactly what you're thinking. But anyway, so I decided to have a break. I decided to have a break on Kingdom Hearts 2 for a little bit because I'm really fucking scared to beat Kingdom Hearts 2, play another game that's apparently really shit, and then have to watch another 3 hours of cutscenes to get to another good game.
So what other games have you been playing then, bud?
I've been utilizing my Game Pass on PC.
No way. There's no way. Holy shit.
I know. Fucking shock horror. I've been really shit with using Game Pass just because I've been smashing through my Kingdom Hearts and then Ghost of Tsushima as well.
Yeah.
so I haven't been using it, but I finally started using it again, and I've been playing a game that is one of the most daunting games to get into, and that's Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh,
Fuck my life. Holy shit. That game is so scary to get into because its whole selling point is Skyrim but in a real life historical setting, no magic, and let's actually make this somewhat, and I say somewhat with quotation marks, realistic. And fuck my life, man. Getting into that game is so scary because, like, the combat, your character, like, every game, you know, they start you off as weak as possible for you to get better, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Skyrim even, you know, but in Skyrim and stuff like that, you can still kill bandits when you meet them. In this game, if I saw bandits at the beginning of the game, I turn the other way. You do not want to get into combat to begin with this game. It is so fucking scary. The way combat works is that it locks onto an enemy. There's directional attacks, so up, bottom right, bottom left, side, slice to the right, and slice to the left. Yeah. And then you've got a stabbing attack as well.
Stab attack.
Stab. But the way combat works is everybody, like, enemies also can contain the skills that you have. So it's not just bandits are fucking idiots and shit. Like, bandits can perfect counter you and actually attack, get a free hit on you and shit if you attack for too long and get too greedy and shit like that. And if you're projecting what your attack's going to be, they'll be ready for it, and you will lose health for that. You've got to actually kind of get used to remembering combos in the game. So you learn new combos that can essentially, if you hit them, if you commit to them and every attack lands, you're guaranteed to get a hit in at least at the end. Whether it's an actual damaging hit or if it's just an armored, like, it breaks down their armor. But, like, where the game really shines, in my opinion, is how much option you really can have. Like, you can go through a lot of the game, not all of it, obviously, just through talking alone.
Yeah.
That's not what I choose. I like getting stabby. That's my fun. That's my fun times, is getting stabby.
Like getting stabby.
Exactly.
Within reason.
But, like, armor also matters in this game as well. Like, you know, a lot of games, obviously, armor does matter. It helps out quite a bit. But
got diamond
in this
armor,
game,
baby.
If you see a guy with armor, it's like, well, fuck. For the first, like, you know, quite a few hits, I'm just not going to be damaging him at all, most likely.
Get that diamond pickaxe,
like,
go downstairs and pick some diamonds.
All right, that's the end of the podcast.
Not this game.
That's the end of the podcast.
But no, the game's really, really... Can you fuck me? Jesus Christ.
You're not my type.
Whoa,
but,
Andrew, calm down, mate. Calm down. You don't just ask people to do that.
Yeah, look, take me out first. Not that you can. We're in lockdown.
Mitchell.
What's that, mate?
You don't deserve to be taken out.
That's fair.
You deserve to be treated like the little bitch that you are.
Well, I mean...
but anyway,
true.
So I've been playing Kingdom Come. That's been really fun. Another game I actually played. Didn't realize I owned this game. I pre-ordered it when I first moved into the new place.
How can you pre-order
Forgot
something?
that I pre-ordered it.
How can you not know that you
forgot? Well, no, I pre-ordered it. I remember I'd pre-ordered it, but I didn't realize when it had come out. And you guys, I'm pretty sure we mentioned it on the podcast, and I went, oh yeah, that is out. Still not clicking that I fucking bought it. And so when I finally hopped back on my PC for the first time in, 2 fucking weeks, I noticed in my Steam page that I had a game. I was like, oh.
Which one was it?
Death Stranding for BC.
Oh, yeah, okay. The carrying
Postman Pad
simulator.
Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Postman Pad Apocalypse. So, my opinions on this game.
No, here we go.
I know. I actually really love it. I'm loving this game, but I can totally understand why people fucking hate it.
No, of course.
It is. I see why it's such a divisive fucking game. That there is so many problems and with the fact that all you're pretty much doing is walking to and from places or riding on a motorbike to and from places. And then when there's enemies like the BTs crawling or crouching to and from places. That is the core concept of the game.
But I mean, look how popular Animal Crossing is. That's just like a chores simulator.
Of course. Well, this game, a lot of the criticisms come from you've also got to manage how much you're carrying so that, like, you know, obviously your character isn't fucking burdened to the point where he'll just fall over all the time.
That was the funniest shit.
You literally can, like, eat absolute shit in this game. But, and there's mechanics with kind of maintaining balance whilst going down slopes and also just maintaining balance if your load is quite heavy. There's also, like, there's a bit of a puzzle mechanic of kind of picking out the best route to take in an area. All that stuff. And then there's also, like, you don't want to damage the equipment too much, like the packages too much. And there's ways to damage it through, like, the rain can damage it.
The
rain can damage it because it's acid rain, though.
Well, it's not acid. It's called timefall, where essentially it ages things extremely quickly. So, like, it's not just water. It gets water in it. No, like, it's like it's essentially aging the case. But what it does is it doesn't damage the content of the case immediately. It just damages the case to begin with.
My quesadillas just got wet and it's ruined.
My
lunch.
Pizza's turned moldy on the way.
Right.
Anyway.
With the game, I thought it was super creative, man. Like, even...
Oh, yeah, see, here's the thing. I think that it's not a game that's for everyone. It's not, but it's fucking awesome. Because I'm loving it. Like, I'm loving every minute of it.
Because I personally really like the way the combat sort of worked. Like, if it was people, like, you were either severely outnumbered, you grabbed the thing and you ran away. And, you know, the whole point is you're avoiding combat because you're not some one man that can take on 30 dudes.
You're a postman.
And then the BTs, it's like, no, just run. Just get out of there.
No, not run. Crawl and hope that they don't fucking spot you, and then you eventually get grenades that can actually kill them.
And all people can see are these boxes just floating through a crevice.
Well, no. I mean more just like it's this, like the BTs kind of react to sound. So, and like,
that's good.
The BTs are fucking awesome.
They're terrifying.
Awesome, man. Like they're so cool. They're fucking awesome, and like eventually you get to a point where when they get close enough to you, you can actually get outlines of what they look like, and you're like, oh yeah, fuck my life. It's so great. Like, I'm loving this game so much. The story's really interesting. I haven't watched anything. I hadn't watched anything to do with this game. I just heard people saying it was divisive, and that's all I knew.
That's where what's his name, Kojima kills it. Like, in the story? In terms of story, like, he smashes the story.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't get me wrong, I don't really think Metal Gear Solid 5 story was that great. But he is a really good writer. He's a phenomenal writer. I can understand people's problems with, like, this being pretty much an interactive movie, which it is. Like, the only reason I'm enjoying the to and from parts of this game is I like the core mechanic of trying to figure out where to go, how to do it in the most optimized way, and all of that shit. I love that. But the most interesting part is this story, and then it is just hours upon hours of cutscenes. Like, the first part of the game, I would say the first 5 hours of pure cutscenes. with
okay.
moving around for like 5 minutes and then more cutscenes. It was fucking nuts how many cutscenes there were in the beginning of this game. And then, you get further in. So I'm like 10 hours into the game so far. So I'm not super far in.
Okay.
But
it's a pretty
still,
long game too, isn't it?
I think it's 30, 40 hours.
Okay, alright.
But I like I said, if you don't like the idea of literally walking to and from places constantly, you're not gonna like the gameplay. But the story is so fucking interesting. At least try and get into the game through that.
No.
It's really cool.
I refuse.
It's a really cool concept, and they give a fairly good reasoning as to why you are this quote unquote one-man army when it comes to being a delivery man. Which I enjoyed. Like, there's a reason why you're the one doing this versus other people. And it makes sense. Like, it does make sense.
Right.
The beginning of the game starts off on a real high note as well.
Oh, well, high as in shit goes down, but low as in the mood of the fucking shit that went down.
Yes,
but yeah,
yes.
It was fucking great. The beginning is just... like, the introduction, like, the way they kind of slowly introduce the BTs, and you don't actually deal with them in-game
until later
around
on,
until like the 6 or 7 hour mark. Everything you do with the BTs is through cutscenes before that.
Oh, geez. Okay, cool.
And then it's like, you do this whole segment, kind of the tutorial segment of the game that's based after the first 5 hours of cutscenes. And it's not even until after you do the first part of that trip, it's the trip back, is where you finally experience BTs in-game.
Yikes.
And like I said, the rest of the time, they only appear during cutscenes. And it's fucking great. Like, it's just a great game. Fucking BB is cute as, but it's really weird that I'm carrying around a fucking baby.
Oh, I forgot that he had a baby.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What do you mean? You don't carry around babies normally?
No, I don't. You're right.
Especially
I'm the fucking weird one here.
Only by special requests, yeah.
But no, they've been the like 2 games I've put hours into this week.
Let us know when you get to the boss fights, because I know the boss fights are super, super fucking cool.
I just had a random thought.
Okay, I'll probably bring it up next week.
What was...
Yeah. Anyway, what were you going to say, Mitch?
What was that game that George R. R. Martin's involved in? I can't remember.
You did FromSoft. Fuck, what's the name of it?
Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, that's the one, yeah.
When's that coming out?
I'm so hyped for that. We don't know.
I thought it was already getting
clue.
like...
FromSoft, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I kind of want it. Like, now would be great.
Mitchell, I'm shocked that you want it.
How
many hate Bloodborne and Dark Souls?
Oh, Mitchell.
You hate them.
Mitchell, we can't.
You realize this is going to be as difficult.
I'm just interested, you know?
I am too. I'm really excited because I think it's really interesting to have two very different types of writers working together. You know, George R. R. Martin is great with characters, whereas FromSoft is great with environmental story. So it'll be really interesting to see
make a pretty baby.
Them combining. And it's not often you get Celtic folklore. I can't really think of one.
There was that one on Xbox.
Well, Hellblade, yeah.
Yeah,
but Hellblade. But that's the thing, though. Hellblade, it's the second one that's Celtic folklore. The first one's Norse. The first game's all about Norse. I just played it. It's all about Norse mythology.
But isn't it the same character throughout both of them?
Yeah, it's the same character. So that'll be interesting.
Okay. Well, yeah, I just wanted to... I didn't know what was going on with that game. So
Yeah, I'm really excited. I fucking love it. I love FromSoft games. Sekiro is probably my favorite one, which is probably the most controversial FromSoft game.
Yeah.
But Sekiro's combat's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Quickly, I also downloaded GTA 5 on PS4, and that was fun.
Oh.
I don't want to talk about it, but it's fun to muck around with friends.
It is fun. I can agree with that. I just think
I've never
the
played it
cash
before.
cow that it is, I hate.
Never,
I hate the
ever
cash
played
cow.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. It's just the way it monetizes itself, and like how they essentially at one point stopped earning as much money because everybody had played the game for so long. So they essentially inflated the market of the in-game economy so that people would have to buy more money. Yeah. It got to a point where when DLC and stuff would come out, you know, they were putting like the new DLC items at a price where everyone was like, well, we've played so much of this game, we have the money for it.
Yeah.
So like they weren't earning money for this free content, and so they got pissy. So the next DLCs, they inflated the market and made them so expensive that people would have to be tempted to pay for the fucking pay for money.
Nice.
Also, I can't believe that they have an actual literal casino in this game. That fucking amazes me.
Yeah.
And people are like, but it's not real money. It's fucking gambling. At least with GTA, it's R-rated.
Much like a real. It's pretty much like a life simulator at this point.
To give GTA 5 at least some credit, it is R-rated, unlike other games that use gambling-esque mechanics.
Yeah.
But what also kind of blew my mind is I was on YouTube the other day.
I've got a funny story about gambling.
Just one sec. They were literally advertising on YouTube the casino.
Oh my god.
And I was like, you fucking kidding me? And it was on YouTube as where I was like, I know they have
it's
a
just
younger
as bad
audience.
as like Syndicate and whoever else it was out.
The CSGO lotto
the
shit.
CSGO gambling site. Like to kids.
Yeah.
To kids. Come on.
And it's like YouTube accepted those ads as well, and it's like, for fuck's sake.
It's a twisted world we live in. What were you gonna say,
But,
Tolga?
Rockstar sponsor us.
I was just gonna say, so I got some new dice in. I think it was yesterday.
Nice.
and my dad was like, "Oh, you got something from FedEx? What was it?" I go, "Dice." He's like, "Oh, why that?" Like, you know, as my dad is, you know, typical like wog dad. Yeah. Oh, why the fuck do you need dice? Whatever, to play your stupid games. And I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, you know, it's for the style, whatever, blah blah blah." And then he's like, "I hope you're not learning how to gamble." And the thing is, he knows like it's called Dungeons and Dragons, but the thing is, he thinks all of the dice is used for gambling, and I'm like, "No, Dad, it's not gambling. I'm not getting special dice just to gamble."
I got new dice that I ordered a while ago. So there's 3 sets in one, which is really cool. And my dad did the same. He was like, "Why do you need all these dice?" And I was like, "Well, I just like them. Just go away."
Just like them.
But
it's the aesthetic.
It's the aesthetic.
It is the aesthetic, though.
But
that's
the funny thing is,
absolutely,
2 out of the 3 sets are fine. 1 set has 2 D6s and no D10. I've emailed the company twice, and they have not emailed me back.
Wait, as in not even your percentage die?
Well, so I've got the whole set.
Yeah.
Right. On 2 sets, I got every single dice. It's fine. On one of them though, they've given me an extra D6 dice, but I have no D10 on that set.
So they've given you 1 D6 when they didn't give you 2 D10.
No. They've given me 2 D6 when I haven't got 1 D10.
Yeah, but you're saying they gave you 1 extra, right?
Yeah.
You know you're meant to get 2 D10.
No. These ones, you only get 1.
But there's 1 percentile dice, which is D10 with 10, 20, etc.
I got a 20. I got a Is that a D100? I think that's a D100.
You guys call it D100.
Yeah, we got that D100.
Righto. Okay. It's a D10. It's just got 10, 20, 30, 40, blah blah blah.
Yeah. That's why I call it the D100. Not
Yeah.
D10.
All right. Yeah.
To differentiate between it. So yeah, one set doesn't have the smaller D10.
Okay.
And
well, I mean,
it really bugs me.
I mean, look. If you ever roll percentile dice, you can always get any percentage up to about 6.
Yeah. Well, I've got 5 sets of dice now, so it doesn't really matter. But I just want what I ordered, you know.
Yeah. Actually, I finally got something that I ordered too, which was I bought some stuff on Displate.
On
Displate, please sponsor us. Yes. Displate, please sponsor us.
Dungeons and Dragons, sponsor us, bitches.
That would be pretty cool.
You fucking won't.
But no, anyway, Displate is like metal posters that essentially you can attach so that they don't damage the walls as much.
Oh, cool.
So like you put like a kind of a sticky piece of paper onto the wall, and then you put a magnet onto that paper.
Yeah.
And then you attach the metal plate onto the magnet.
What the living fuck, dude? I'm just gonna have to show you this. So I searched it up, and this has made me question your life choices very intensely. So
Why?
Just fucking check. Just check the chat. Just check the chat.
I'm checking the chat. There's nothing here.
Hold on, because I'm sending it.
For God's sake. Anyway, I bought 3 to put
Mitchell,
in my room.
You have a look at this as well.
I'm looking.
Anyway, I bought 3. What is it? that isn't what I bought. That is not what I...
Metal poster vagina.
Yeah, no, those are not what I bought.
Classic Ria Screamery. No, you know what that is? That's recommendations to your search history, I reckon.
Yeah,
Tolga?
dude.
100%.
Hey, look, I know.
We've called you out.
I know how to use incognito. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still telling you, mate. That is not what came up when I googled Displate.
Yeah. There's a nude warrior witch. There's an arcade girl showing her butt. Another naked girl. Nezuko. That's kind of wrong.
It's all anime references. This is what happens when you watch anime.
And there's Evangelion. There's Tifa. There's Quiet.
Maybe you should do a better incognito mode, dude.
Look, my favorite is.
I think your incognito mode's fucking failed.
You're a dirty, dirty boy.
It's backfired immensely.
Nice joke. Allow us to rip into you.
God.
Tolga trying to call me out gets called out himself.
I wasn't trying to call you out. I'm just showing you what popped up when I searched it up.
Oh, and aren't we glad you did?
Well,
I also.
It's embarrassing, isn't it?
There's also another one of the man sniffing the universe. As in,
yes.
like
This is what
cocaine.
I got. I just sent you a photo of what I bought.
See, that's
them up
cool.
on my wall.
That's right. That's cool.
Yeah. So I got one from Berserk, which is still my favorite manga that I've read. Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima, and then Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, that's what it is. What a show.
Yeah.
Actually,
man.
Tolga, is it you that watches Sword Art Online?
Yeah, but I'm behind on it because I've been playing.
Okay, when you watch this next episode, it kind of lost me a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I literally watched that episode.
Only for this episode lost you? Lost you? Really?
Was it the chat? Did they bring back tentacles?
I literally watched it. No. And I had this moment where I just went, fuck, Andrew would hate this. Like, we're talking about, man, Andrew, give it a try. Like, it's actually good. Which it is. And then this episode, I was like, fuck. Andrew's gonna fucking hate it. It's like, it just makes no sense.
I still haven't watched since the last episode that I watched with the fucking rape scene.
It makes 0 sense. Oh, I was like, oh.
Dude, a lot of that game, that show makes 0 sense. I was watching.
It's like, why are these people doing it? Why? Where's the logic? And people are like,
I've been watching.
Doesn't matter.
The YouTuber Mother's Basement, and he actually made a full fucking like series based on why this show's shit. And holy shit, I've never seen someone put it so well into words. Like he calls out, the shit part where Yui comes back, and how essentially Kirito became a mad hacker that could access the program systems, which he did call out of, why didn't you try and turn off the re-add the logout button then if you can access the programming of this fucking game? Which, thank you. It is so fucking dumb. It's a shit game. Shit show. Fucking worst concept ever. Fuck SAO. SAO sucks.
What does it suck, though?
What do you mean, what sucks about it? It's one of the worst written shows.
Bro, you surely know at this point. I'm just trying to rile you up.
Fucking shit show. Fucking shit show. Anyway, that's a shame though, because I really enjoyed the beginning of Alicization. I really enjoyed the beginning.
I think it's still good, but the last episode, I was like,
see,
why?
I think
I agree with Andrew until the whole Alicization one started. The Alicization one was again, I should preface this. I'm not saying it's like, oh wow, it's made everything better now. It's amazing.
I think it's like, oh it's wow, it's finally competent.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's like finally hit a good bar of competence. Don't get me wrong, it looks gorgeous. Like the animation's amazing.
Yeah.
But my actual problem is, and it still happens with Alicization as well. They speed through shit so quickly. Like they try and push through shit so quickly. Like they spend three episodes on real life shit, which was fucking boring, and then decided to try and rush through Kirito and I already forgotten the other dude's name, but fucking blonde puss.
What's his name, Mitch? Starts with E.
It's like Yu-Gi-Oh or something. It's some really weird fucking name.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh's like third cousin.
I swear it's something like that. But anyway, they rush through that the next part so quickly, and it's like, oh yeah, now it's been 2 years, and I'm like, wait, what?
Holy shit, Andrew, you were right. Yu-Gi-Oh, literally. Yeah,
I
literally.
Fucking knew it. Man, try me again.
I like how he doesn't even watch the show and he knows more about it.
Oh man.
Big part of it.
Sorry, viewers, my mic cut out again. So if there's an audio cut just then, I was plugging my mic back in. Yeah, no, you were spot on with that name.
But no, I just think that they rush through so much in the Alicization area, like when he's actually in the fantasy world. But then they take fucking 3 episodes of Asuna fucking talking to dudes and them going, the Fluxlight.
Well, this is
we've learned how to recreate. For fuck's sake!
The main problem with this next episode is like, oh, things are going tits up. Why are all these people fighting? Why are they doing this? I don't know. They just wanna. So there you go. Oh, cool. Cool. No logic. No logic.
I think
cool. Yeah.
SAO really does fail in their in particular with their villains. Their villains suck.
I don't think they understand. Like, I can't explain anything. But it's
the thing is, and Andrew, this was actually the conversation we had when you rewatched it with me, was that the Sword Art Online game section of it, super good. Even the villain was good in that.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's not an outright villain.
Instead of going through all the 100 levels, it's just like, this is level 1, this is level 23, this is level 55, this is level 83 of the game, and then this is level It actually finishes at level 80 at 83 or some shit like that. They don't even get to the top level of the game.
Is this the show or a game?
This is the show, as in the game section of the show. Yeah, that's what I'm.
Like the first season.
Do you know what? And the worst part is, like, then in like season 2 when they do Gun Gale, they're like they bring up this whole. Well, my problem with it is the characters are shit, but the villain's even worse. And anyway, but the problem was they bring up this like war that happened with Laughing Coffin, and it's like, why was this not shown in the first season? This sounds cool.
Everyone
there are some great concepts in the game though. Like there are some great concepts like that they have in the show. You know, like one of my favorite episodes, which again was brought up in the YouTube video that I was watching, and I was like, fuck yeah, that was a good episode. And that's like the murder mystery episode where people are essentially going into going to people in the sleep and making them choose, like, while they're asleep, getting them to duel and then killing them. That's fucking awesome. That's such a cool concept. And like, you know, that stuff was really cool.
I think everyone can agree that they really ended the first season, or they ended that part of the first season too quickly. They moved on way too quickly.
But that's where, like, there's a manga that's been coming out. I don't know if they've released anything since I caught up to it. But it's called Sword Art Online Progressive, and it's based off a light novel, and it's essentially level by level. It's actually retelling the story level by level.
But the thing is, that should have been
it should have been done from the get-go. Because, like, realistically, it's not just the anime. The light novel also skips through shit. Like, it's not just the anime skips through shit. They are following the light novel. The SAO Progressive actually has gone back and is actually telling the full story of Sword Art Online.
Following
like, of
Kirito?
course, it's following Kirito and Asuna. Primarily Asuna, actually.
What do you think of that?
Well, I mean, Asuna was probably the most interesting character in the show.
Yeah, because she was part of that, the society or some shit.
Well, no, but not just that. She was also just the most. She was just not a bland character like Kirito was. Yeah. Kirito was just edgelord.
Well, see, whenever
1000 Sasuke, the MMO guy.
Yeah, I don't even think you should call him an edgelord. I just think you should call him a dickhead, really.
See, whenever I talk about
he's still an edgelord. Like, he's like, oh.
I feel like people don't like Asuna.
Well, that's because Asuna turned shit after SAO, and they turned her into just a damsel in distress and this, like, lovesick puppy.
Because I was always
that's
like,
what she turned into.
She's cool.
Asuna's a great character in the beginning. Like, all of SAO, like, Sword Art Asuna is phenomenal until Alfheim, and then she turned into a literal useless damsel, which completely, like, rewrites her character. And then from then on, she doesn't play a part in the show anymore.
Yeah.
The second season, she's barely in it. She comes in to watch Kirito be a badass. That was her whole character arc. And then they had her character arc in Alfheim. Again, they went back to Alfheim and made her do something else. Which, to be fair, that story was actually pretty decent. It just sucked because it was in Alfheim. But then, again, she's kind of useless in the beginning of Alicization, and she's just sitting there in real life. And you can tell she's obviously going to go into the game. You can watch the opening, which SAO loves to spoil a lot of shit in their openings for some reason. But yeah, I find it's just the show. It's very clear what's going to end up happening. Like, you know, I've heard rumors of, you know, Kirito becomes like fucking couch potato and Asuna kind of takes the lead again and all that shit. Great. Get rid of Kirito. Kirito is probably the weakest link in the entire show, in my opinion. He's easily the weakest link. And Yui. Those two are fucking the worst characters in the show. But,
the AI.
I hate that.
It's
character.
such an ex machina, isn't it? Like,
well, no, it's such a
Andrew.
Like, she came in as she was such a cheap character to begin with. Like they're like, oh, let's insert cute girl that'll probably die. That'll get some emotion. And then they like went, okay, but she's not actually gonna die now. Kirito went uber hacker mode, and has now brought her back.
Yeah.
What? And it's like, how can he get into the programming of this game? And if he can, why was his first choice to bring back an AI when he could have potentially got people out of the game?
She was their child.
It's his daughter. Yeah. Oh my god.
And
she's the most annoying.
Andrew, are you telling me that you would not love your AI daughter?
Why?
I'm telling you, I wouldn't love my own real daughter, let alone an AI daughter. Okay?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I take that back. If I ever have a daughter, I'll
Let's hope
bloody
you have
love
a
her.
son. Hey, fuck.
I know. I'd probably hate my son more.
Let's hope.
Oh my god! Why don't you just love your children overall instead of saying you'd hate one more than the other?
Oh man, he's a true gamer.
Kids, this is gonna fuck them up. Oh yeah, son. I had a podcast back in the day.
Mitch
starts watching it. Chad, you hate me.
Mitch, we're gonna see Andrew on the front page of the newspaper and in bloody frickin' on the news, just being like, a man has beaten his child to the point of
hell no. I do not condone that shit.
No, of course not.
All jokes aside, the show sucks. Have you been watching ReZero, Tolga, though? Are you up to date?
No, I'm not up to date.
You're so fucking AIDS. Mitchell, are you up to date?
I think so.
I fucking bawled my eyes out on the latest episode. I teared up like a little bitch.
My memory is so bad. What the fuck happened?
I can't say anything. Tolga's not up to date.
I know. What I like.
Tolga, mute your mic for a second.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a really, really, really good episode.
How emotional was it?
It was done.
I fucking cried.
It was done.
Like a little
so
shit.
well.
Oh my god.
I didn't
cry.
cry.
Me too, guys. I cried like a sissy boy.
It turned me into an emotional fucking wreck.
It hit me.
I watched it. I was
I
like,
connected.
"This is fucked."
I connected with real life Kirito, or whatever it is, or
you
Kirito.
mean fucking?
Well, it's not real life. Subaru. Fuck Sword Art. Fuck you. Subaru.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't cry.
But no.
But I
well,
thought
here's
it was
the thing,
so
though. Like
well
you could
done.
tell that was kind of what he was like. But it was amazing just having him have almost the clarity to kind of pick himself up and realize, okay, I need to get some oomph in. And that was great. It was a great fucking character.
It left off on a really interesting point, which I'm excited to see what the next episode is. So,
yeah, no, I'm so
really,
excited.
Can I just say though, I don't know if this will give away any spoilers. I'll say spoiler it just now. So if you don't want to hear something that might give away what's in the episode, don't listen.
Hello.
Tolga, go drown. So.
Don't say anything.
Mitchell, what the fuck are you doing? Shut up, Mitchell.
Why didn't they just say something back? You know, or why didn't they say it like they're them? The relationship, like. Okay, move on before I explode.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
I don't think we should
it was a great
podcast
episode.
when Mitchell wakes up ever again.
Yeah, it was a great episode. That was a fucking amazing episode.
Tolga, you're on the stand. Don't worry. It's
anyway. Let's get into some minor bits of news. We got a little bit here. I have some news. I've got a few things written now.
You're getting married.
So Riot Games has been. No. Anyway, Riot Games has copped some flack this week.
why?
Which. So for their League of Legends Euro Championship, they have been sponsored by a company called Neom.
Neom
Ne-
with an M?
Or N.
I believe, but I've read it as Neon and also Neon, so I don't fucking know,
Okay.
honestly.
Anyways,
So
proceed.
anyway, it's like people have written Neon. People have read Neon. I think it's Neon though, like Neon, just because of what it is. Which is a Saudi Arabian city development, where they are trying to develop a brand new city.
Right.
And essentially, people called it out first off because whilst Riot's being sponsored by this, they're donning their LGBT pride flags. And, Saudi Arabia is not exactly the most accepting of the LGBTQ plus community.
No.
So they kind of called him out and said, well, you can't have,
you can't have it both
call
ways.
it, say your pride and then also take money from people who do not accept gay pride, etc. So they called him out for that, but then on top of that, staff members and stuff also spoke out and said, we did not actually okay this. We were not happy with this sponsorship. We've all spoken about it. And they also kind of went along and they also started calling them out because this development has actually been pushing out the indigenous people from that area and trying to actually get them out of their homes and moving them, literally forcibly removing them. Yeah, forcibly removing them to put this city there. And also some of them apparently have been getting killed because of this, etc., etc. So
not a very humanitarian.
Riot accepted money from Riot got accepted money from a shit company, a very shit company.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so people kind of all called them out, rightfully so. And then apparently Riot had an in-company meeting where they told all their staff members essentially, we like that you're being critical, but don't be critical on the internet. Otherwise, you will lose your job, type of thing. They kind of went, you can't do this anymore.
Don't speak out.
Type of thing, yeah. Obviously, that part I couldn't find too much information on, but that was the general gist, and I'm like, fuck you, Riot. You're shit. Stop selling $300 skins in Valorant, you fucking greedy cunts.
Lol. New season of Valorant out, kids.
Fuck Valorant. Anyway. Other news.
Yep.
In other news, Halo Infinite multiplayer. So the multiplayer has come out to be free to play. It's going to be free to play.
What? So the game you're going to have to pay for, but the online
the $60, I believe. Yeah, I think so. Or they're just saying you don't have to pay for Xbox Live. I'm not sure exactly. I'm pretty sure though the multiplayer is trying to be free to play.
Okay.
They also mentioned that it's going to have obviously a battle pass system.
Sure.
And they said that there's not going to be loot boxes or microtransactions for any pay to win stuff. So you can kind of expect for them to eventually be costumes and cosmetics and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how they're going to fund it.
Sure.
Now, they said something that really made me laugh, and it reminded me of another company that I think is really amusing. They mentioned that they want this game to have a 10-year lifespan.
Destiny.
Does that remind you of any company that's also worked on Halo?
It's Bungie.
So there's not going to be a new Halo
10-year
after Infinite for 10 years.
Is that because they're trying to make it open world and expand it?
They're trying to make it a live service, yeah. It's trying to turn into a live service, I think an Anthem or a Destiny, which I'm like, if you can do it, if you can do it right, on you, fucking good on you. But I hope Halo can do it right.
Mitch, is Andrew sounding funky on your end? Was he sounding funky?
He sounds like a bit of a dickhead, regardless of when he.
Did he go slightly weird?
Oh, he's had a few. He's had a few little things, but it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Well,
I was just saying from my end or.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, so it's a little I'm just like, really? Why does it need to be a live service? Like, make a new live service game. Wait, but make a new live service game. Don't make it Halo.
Yeah, I don't know why you do that to Halo.
You know, I don't know. Like, and if the multiplayer is really where they're trying to upgrade it, it's kind of interesting that they haven't shown off any of the multiplayer yet.
Do you think they're trying to get on the hype of the whole battle royale thing? Like, do you think it's essentially
it's
just
not
going to
battle royale? They're trying to get on the hype of the Destiny train, the live service Destiny train. Like, they're not. They haven't confirmed there being a battle royale in this game. To me, it just seems like they just want an online game that they can put content in and have people pay for cosmetics and shit like that and pay for the battle pass.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about having to make a brand new game for a long period of time. Which, in my opinion, that can work. Like, that can work really well. Destiny 2 is a kind of staple for that. You can show that it works well. MMOs, they work well. My only problem with it is I wish that I'm worried about the whole making it free to play, because it's like, okay, how much monetization are you going to put into this?
Yeah. Be safe.
And I personally, I hate cosmetics, microtransactions, as well as normal like any microtransaction. I'm not a fan of having cosmetics locked off through like money walls. Like, I find it really shitty. I want to be able to unlock my cosmetics through playing the game and not always have to fucking spend money or buy the battle pass for it.
Yeah.
I find that really shitty. I hate that. Like, I really despise it. You know, like, Ghost of Tsushima really fucking nailed it home. It's like, I unlocked a fuck ton of cosmetics. Didn't have to spend a single dollar for it. And I made my guy look sick as fuck. You know, like, it was just, you know, but like, it's just really worrying, you know, and it's just, I don't know, it's a bit of a weird thing for Halo.
Halo's taken a weird turn.
Halo hasn't been good since Halo Reach. Like, Halo 4 and 5 were shit, in my opinion.
Yeah, but even before Reach, there was shit like ODST and all that.
I enjoyed ODST, though. I still enjoyed ODST.
Yeah, ODST wasn't too bad.
ODST was a great concept.
But it's like, it's lost its direction and its path. With 343, I feel.
Yeah, I don't think that 343 has made a decent game. I don't know, was Reach 343 or was that still Bungie?
I think that was Bungie's last.
Reach was Bungie's last? Okay. Because I was going to say, if 343 did Reach, then that was a good game.
Don't quote me. Hang on, let me check.
So was 343's first entrance Halo 4?
It was Bungie.
It was, okay, so their first entrance was Halo 4, which I hated.
Then that was the first one I purchased as well.
I still really enjoyed ODST. Like, I loved ODST, actually. I think the concept of ODST was really cool. Like, instead of it being like, hey, you're a badass Spartan, it's like, you're just a normal, everyday grunt. Like, fucking enjoy it, try and survive. And that's fun. I like those concepts, you know? I think it was done well.
343 just have to be very, very careful with what they release for Infinite. If it's going to be like they said, like open world like Destiny, don't do what Destiny did. Have lots of content, make it smooth, make the graphics not look so fucking stupid, and
if you don't have as much content, I think they can have the argument of, well, the multiplayer is free. You know, you're paying for the single player, so multiplayer is free.
But
like, you can make that argument. I don't agree with it.
People haven't followed Halo through the years for the multiplayer.
It was pretty big.
It is big.
The multiplayer is very big.
The main selling point is Master Chief.
I will disagree with you on this, because like,
what
Halo
about
1? Like, the big thing about Halo 1 was how they did LAN parties and shit like that. Then Halo 2 did the same thing. It was like everyone that remembers Halo 2, they always talk about how fun the LAN parties were. Halo 3's multiplayer introduced like the Forge system and shit, and everybody fucking frothed that. Like the multiplayer has always been really big. It might not have been big for you. Big. Multiplayer has been massive, always, and it's always been a big selling point. And so, I do think that Halo's multiplayer has always been a big selling point because it's a multiplayer that is very different to other multiplayers. It still follows that arcade, it still follows that almost arcadey shooter style versus versus Call of Duty and stuff. So it's always stood out. So no, I disagree. I think the multiplayer is a massive component.
Maybe I just don't like it.
It's something I want to bring up with you guys in terms of games. What do you guys think of this? Whatchamacallit? The Avengers game that's been getting a lot of flack.
Okay, that is literally my next fucking news segment, which is the Spider-Man exclusive to PlayStation for the new Avengers game.
Lol.
Oh, is this Spider-Man exclusive for the new Avengers game?
That's what it's been copying. Sony and the game has been copying recently because they announced that Spider-Man will be exclusive to PlayStation.
Jesus Christ. It's custody battle.
I'm on the side of everyone, like Sony getting shit, because for this game specifically, it is literally just I'm putting my dick on the floor. No, Xbox, you can't have this. No, fuck you. No, get your own superhero. And it's really stupid and embarrassing because it's like
we can't play nice.
But you've had games where since you've owned Spider-Man on the Xbox with Spider-Man. It's only because of like the most recent game being so big, like your most recent Spider-Man game being so big, you're like, okay, now we're gonna make this exclusive. And I think that's just a fucking joke, man. Like,
but to be fair, from a business perspective, that is their major franchise, and if they want to beat Xbox in sales because they're still competitors at heart, then that's a smart move.
The thing is, though, it clearly wasn't because it didn't make people happy.
Yeah, well, if they want Spider-Man, they're going to have to go to PS4.
Well, but see, that's we're not talking about business. We're talking about from a customer perspective. That's a shit customer perspective. Like if someone bought an Xbox because they loved Halo and they loved Gears of War, so they wanted to get those games, and now they're forced to have to buy the game on the PlayStation. So they have to, if they don't own the system, they have to buy a new system just to play their favorite superhero. That is trash. I'm sorry, but that's trash. And I'm not. But the thing is, I think that this shouldn't just be targeted at PlayStation because Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics, which is the publisher and developer of this game, this isn't their first time where they've done a stupid console exclusive bullshit. These are the same guys that did Tomb Raider, right? And Rise of the Tomb Raider was a 1 year exclusive to the Xbox system, and like that, it's just fucking embarrassing. It's just. They've done it twice now, so I think that it's kind of interesting where it's like it's kind of interesting that this company's just gone and accepted it for a second time when they copped flack for the Rise of the Tomb Raider doing the same thing, and I think it is bullshit because Sony didn't get pissy when Marvel Ultimate Alliance came out on the Nintendo Switch and you could play as Spider-Man there, which was a recent game. They didn't get pissy when Marvel vs. Capcom came out on multiple systems and you could play as Spider-Man there. Like it is just now because this game is a bit more in the pub. It's going to be a bit more of like consumed by a bit more of a casual fan base.
That and it has Avengers in the title, so they're probably
it's going to have a more of a casual fan base, So they're like, oh, fuck you, and I think it's stupid. It is not consumer friendly, and I don't care if you're looking for a business perspective. The person we are meant to be looking out for is us, the consumer, and I understand because Mitchell and we all have PlayStations, it doesn't affect us But it's unfair to then be like, well, that's great. We bought the right system. Shit, that's bullshit.
Yeah, we're superior.
It's stupid. Like, it's stupid. It's a dumb thing. I think anyone who buys this game should be able to get all the content for this game.
It is. I just love the memes of how everyone shits on the Captain America design. Because you know how
the whole game looks like shit.
Oh,
I don't find any of that game interesting.
I don't know. I'm gonna I don't want it, but I'll wait and see how it is when it comes out.
Well, it's also another live service Destiny-esque game, and I'm like, that is.
Is it? So is it like you team up with mates online and someone's Iron Man and you're?
I don't know if you co-op, but I think you might be able to. But it's also just like you're getting loot to then make yourself stronger and all that shit, and it's online, partially online. There's going to be events and stuff like that. It's another live service game, and it's like, okay, this is fucking stupid. I've got another small news segment, and then
yeah, I'm back. I just plugged it out and back in.
There we go. Anyway, this is the last little bit of news, and that's Rogue Squadron. So EA had a investors meeting and all that shit, and they brought up Rogue Squadron and said that it's going to be a $40 US video game instead of the usual regular $60. And they said that because it is going to be a game on a smaller scale when it comes to the content.
I did see this actually.
The single player kind of it's just there, and then you do these small dogfights. So it's a much smaller game, so they're not charging as much, which is fine. That's good. They've also announced that, and they stood by during this investors meeting. They stood by the fact that there's not going to be microtransactions in this game. Which is really good.
Mm-hmm.
But my only worry is, because it's now 40 US, how much are they looking to earn from it to keep it running as a multiplayer game and slowly building it as a bigger multiplayer game? And that's my only worry. And it's not a criticism of the game at all. It's just a worry, because it's like,
they are being very consumer friendly, but is it going to jeopardize them in the long run?
Well, I think it's a really good move, but you can tell it is strictly a move because they fucked up so much with the Star Wars franchise previously.
Yeah,
it's an apology. It's an apology.
Yeah,
but
good.
If there's any game to do it for, it's really interesting for it to be this dogfight game. I think it's
it makes
probably
sense.
the most interesting.
It's like, hey,
now
this game's not as big as what we usually do, so it's going to be cheaper. We're not giving you as much, so we're not going to pay. We're not going to make you pay as much.
We should have a Star Wars episode, because we always talk about it, but we should actually go through with one.
All right, just
we'll do that as like an extra episode thing. We won't do it as part of the main.
I think we've got some plans coming for this podcast in the future.
Exactly. So
we'll build on
get into it. But no, that's kind of the last bit of news. Tolga, did you make a game?
Nah, man.
You're useless.
Uni started back, fam, and I completely forgot that I had to do a game.
Okay.
Guys,
what is the best game of 2020?
What's your favorite
Destiny
color?
2.
No, stop.
What is the speed
Destiny
of a swallow?
2. C.
What is your favorite color?
Destiny 2. And D.
Shut up, Mitchell!
Simulator.
Oh my god!
Anyway, no, let's finish this. Let's wrap this up then. Tolga, you're expected to have a game next week, please.
Yeah, alright, Dad.
Good boy. Good child.
Alright.
Don't be a like my other children.
I know you hate me.
This is why I take extra long in the shower.
Maybe my opinion will change if you fucking sort your shit out.
Yeah. So moral of the story.
Maybe I might.
Moral of the story: Andrew hates his kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
my non-existent children.
In lockdown, play Fire Emblem.
Stay safe, stay inside, play Fire Emblem.
Or Kingdom Come Deliverance. Play that too. That's fun.
Play Destiny too. I'm not even playing it at the moment, but play it.
Don't play it.
Play Goat Simulator.
Play Fall Guys. That's fun.
Yeah, I can't say yes
I
yet,
think we
but
should
I'm going
develop
to play
it.
it.
We should develop a game.
Mitchell,
yeah, let's develop.
Are you gonna stay on the PC after this?
Yeah, I need to get some food and whatnot because I'm starving.
Play some Fall Guys.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna do like
just wrap out, dude. Do your little catchphrase. They're all waiting. They're on the edge of their toes. Peter's out there, like, when's he gonna do it?
Peter.
Oh yeah. By the way, Trent's also been watching this podcast.
Oh, our
Apparently
second viewer.
Apparently he commented. I need to read the comment. I haven't been on our account for a while. Anyway, so you've been NerdSpice. Oh, that was Tolga. Even though it was a bit less energy, like that was actually pretty good. I was proud of that.